Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic, Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Attorney General of the Republic, Honorable Dorcas Oduor, members of the Judiciary, Cabinet Secretaries, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, it's my honor to welcome you and all of us here for the official launch of Kenya's candidature of Honorable Justice Njoki Ndung'u for elections to the bench of the International Criminal Court for the year 2027-2036 term. This candidature reflects Kenya's enduring commitment to international justice, the rule of law, and strengthening of multilateral institutions. Excellency, Justice Ndung'u's distinguished judicial service, both nationally and regionally, together with her experience in the legislature, are all well known and well documented. And therefore, we present a candidate who, in our view, embodies the highest credentials, as well as integrity, competence, and the independence required of judges of the World Court. Today's event marks not only a national endorsement, but also a continuation of a broader engagement with partners and fellow state parties to the Rome Statute in support of the candidature. Kenya's active participation in international judicial elections, including in the International Court of Justice and regional mechanisms such as the Commerce Court of Justice, is both a strategic imperative and a principled extension of our foreign policy. By advancing qualified and eminent Kenyan jurists to these institutions, Kenya plays its part in contributing to the strengthening of a rules-based international order, promoting equitable geographic and gender representation, and ensuring that Africa's perspectives and lived experiences are meaningfully reflected in the development of international jurisprudence. Excellencies, without much further ado, allow me therefore to draw your attention to the screen for a brief presentation on Honorable Lady Justice Ndung'u's candidature. You may play the clip. Thank you.
There are moments in history when humanity must choose justice over impunity, when the world must affirm that dignity, accountability, and the rule of law are not ideals for a few nations, but universal principles for all people. At such moments, the International Criminal Court stands as a guardian of humanity's conscience. And from Kenya emerges a jurist whose life's work has been dedicated to that very cause, Lady Justice Njoki Ndung'u. A judge of the Supreme Court of Kenya, a defender of human rights, a constitutional reformer, a legislator, and one of Africa's most distinguished voices on gender justice and international law.
My focus has been on the safety of women, and it has been informed by my own experience. And I wanted to give that voice to other women and girls. It's something that I still do today. And I think that leadership is about doing things when you feel that it is right.
For over 3 decades, Justice Njoki Ndung'u has worked across national, regional, and international institutions to advance justice, accountability, and human dignity.
Unchecked and unbridled episodes of violence are a sure recipe for the disintegration of a nation and the destruction of a constitutional order. This court stands not for lending legitimacy to any acts of violence as a device for settling disagreements.
As a criminal prosecutor, she handled serious criminal cases and championed due process and fair trial rights. As a Member of Parliament, she became the architect of Kenya's landmark Sexual Offences Act, transforming legal protection for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, setting a powerful precedent for reform across Africa. At the African Union, she played a leadership role in developing the protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Women in Africa, the historic Maputo Protocol, one of the most influential human rights instruments on the African continent. Through her work with the United Nations, regional institutions, and refugee protection agencies, she has engaged directly with issues of conflict, displacement, sexual violence, peace building, and reconciliation. She understands that justice is not only about punishment, it is also about restoring dignity to victims, rebuilding trust in institutions, and strengthening peace in societies emerging from conflict. At the Supreme Court of Kenya, Justice Njoki Ndung'u has contributed to jurisprudence grounded in judicial independence, human dignity, fairness, and constitutionalism.
We are discussing how we can increase the space for judicial independence, what lessons we have learned, and where we are going with this.
Her vision for the International Criminal Court is clear. A court that is independent, victim-centered, efficient, gender-responsive, and firmly anchored in integrity and the rule of law. A court that commands legitimacy through principled and courageous judicial decision-making. A court that reflects the diversity of legal traditions and lived realities across the world.
The court has rendered its judgment by a majority. I am, however, of a different opinion. At the heart of democracy are the people who will constitute the strand of governance that we have chosen as a country.
A court that strengthens accountability while safeguarding due process and fair trial rights. Kenya is proud to present Lady Justice Njoki Ndung'u as its candidate for election as judge of the International Criminal Court for the term 2027-2036, a jurist shaped by courage, a champion of human rights, a voice for victims, and a judge committed to justice for humanity.